Okay, this is Veterans News. Hello, this is Veterans News, a production of the United Veterans Organization of Nassau County. My name is Ed Allman. I want to thank Erica Bradley of North Shore TV for the use of her studio facilities here in Lake Success. By the way, the facilities we are in is the same building the United Nations was in 1946. The same building. Anyway, same building. I'd like to thank Marcelo Mendez for keeping our 100% crew of veterans sharp. I wanted to say hello to our viewers in Nassau and Suffolk counties and in New York City. I'd also like to thank Sabrina Lacey, the former commander and current chaplain of Suffolk County's VFW. Welcome, Sabrina.
Thank you, Ed.
Our guest today is Rich Winter, commander of Chapter 145 of the Disabled American Veterans. We'll talk to our guest in just a few minutes, but first let us remember some of the veterans who died recently. Gene Schroer of Lynbrook was the director of Veterans News, a phenomenal veteran and a very active one. Gene will be missed by the whole crew and by me. Kathleen Murphy, the past president of the American Legion Auxiliary. She was born in Ireland, became a Massapequa resident, and she was only 53 years old. It's a real shock. I knew Kathy Murphy from the American Legion County meeting. She would come almost every time there was a meeting. Walter Geary was a USMC veteran from Baldwin and a proud member of the Vietnam War Veterans Association. Arnold Fisher, 96 years old, was a member of the Greens HOA, and he was a renowned engineer who built the sextant used by astronauts on the Apollo flights. Richard Mayhew of Amityville died at 100 years old. He was one of the first blacks to be accepted into the United States Marine Corps. He became an accomplished artist, too, and taught at many universities. Skip Goldsmith was a voting businessman from Southold and a Vietnam War veteran from the Air Force. Jack Kearney Westbury was a Navy corpsman in Korean War. Muggs Milligan of Miller Place was a Navy vet who was awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Medal for Heroic Action. John Sudi of Locust Valley served in the U.S. Army during the Korean War. Jan Trudeau of Santa Mauritius served during the Vietnam War with the Air Force and worked on such planes as the B-52. If you know a veteran who died recently and would like to see their names mentioned here, please email me at mardiv1@optimum.net. Now it's time for our guest, Richard. Can I call you Dick? Because I've been calling you Dick all day long.
Okay. Whatever you want to call me. It's
all right. You met Sabrina before?
I met Sabrina,
okay.
Yes.
You're commander of the 145th?
Chapter 145 of
the DAV. DAV stands for?
Disabled American Veterans.
Right. If you joined the DAV, you must be disabled.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Any veteran's open to.
Oh, really?
Yes. It's our help is directed towards disabled veterans, but
right.
Any veteran can join the DAV.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay, we just learned something today. Okay. But you did get some kind of illness?
I suffer from some of the effects of Agent Orange. I have type 2 diabetes. I had triple bypass surgery and neuropathy.
Yeah. When did you have the surgery on the heart?
2007.
So you're okay?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Yes, with that.
Very good.
Yeah.
What hospital were you in when you?
St. Francis.
St. Francis.
Were you in Vietnam?
I was in Vietnam.
Yeah.
September of '66 to September of '67.
66 to 67.
Yes.
What service were you with?
I was in United States Army Corps of Engineers. I was in a float bridge company. We built the big pontoon bridges.
Wow.
The big rubber pontoon bridges, yes.
You're the first guy I met that was an engineer. Wow.
And how was it during that time? Because every time I look at a bridge, I always wonder what kind of people, men or women, could be able to build such a humongous
Well, the
landscape.
pontoon bridges are the big rubber pontoons that they have. That's one type. They also had another, the Bailey Bridge, and of course some of the engineer companies build wooden bridges, and
Yeah.
depending on what kind of company you're in, build roads, airfields.
Did you ever have any trouble with the Viet Cong or the NBA?
I really was, we were there. I was there prior to the Tet Offensive,
Right,
so
right.
it was where I was not too active at that time.
Good.
And we had a couple of raft operations going in the Mekong Delta region, and actually we were sent to Vietnam to build a specific bridge, and I was there for a year, and I spoke to some of the fellows I was with who stayed for another year, and that bridge was never built. So they took our bridges off the trucks because we had a lot of trucks and used us as a transportation company.
What'd you do after you got out of the Marine Corps, out of the Army?
I was a chemist for Con Ed first, and then
Chemist?
Yes, and then New York State.
How'd you get from working on bridges, on pontoon
Well,
bridges to
I
be...
had already started taking courses in chemistry before I went into service.
Really?
Yeah. So
And what college did you go to?
Staten Island.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah. At that time, I lived in Queens, so
Okay, where Queens?
in Ridgewood,
Okay.
and
And then you got married?
after I got out, I've been married now for 56 years.
Well, did you attend college before or after the service?
I did a little bit before, but most of it after I got out on the
Okay.
GI Bill.
GI Bill?
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
And you said that your son followed your
Two
footsteps?
sons. One of them chose to go in the Navy. He was an Airedale. He did his 20 years. He's now retired, living in Florida. He works for Grumman down there.
Very good. He was an Airedale? You mean he was a
Yeah.
pilot?
No, he worked on the planes. He
Oh, okay.
was an aircraft electrician.
Okay. So tell us about the DAV.
Well, the DAV is a national organization. The national organization works with the people in Congress to help get legislation passed, and they support the 50 districts around the country. Each state is a different district. And then the state does a lot of claims and benefits for veterans.
For veterans, you
and
do
they
claims
help.
work.
Yes, we do. If anybody needs to file a claim with the VA, please get in touch with us at 516-887-7100. That's our state headquarters.
That's very good. Can you give that phone number again? I don't
It's
think our...
516-887-7100. Our state headquarters is located at 162 Atlantic Avenue in Lynbrook.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very good. That is for anybody who's thinking about a claim for themselves from the VA.
Yes.
And they can go to you for...
We can go and make an appointment and see one of our counselors. And we also have other counselors there that'll help them with transition from military to civilian life. We have other people who help them search for jobs and
Oh,
that
really?
kind of stuff. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah,
That's an important phone number.
Yeah.
Can you give it one more time?
516-887-7100.
Okay, 887-7100.
Right.
Very good.
Vic, what is one or a couple of issues that if there's a veteran out there right now and they having issues, because a lot of veterans now are coming up with different ailments because this is the time now since, I guess, the Iraqi and Afghanistan war.
Yeah.
It's been about 10, 20 years now?
Yeah, it's, a lot of them are coming up with issues from burn pits and that kind of stuff. And, specifically what's covered our counselors be able to discuss that with them. But if they call that number and make an appointment, our counsel will be happy to meet with them. We also have people who will file appeals if they are turned down from the
Right.
VA. One of our state offices, who's located in Manhattan, Judy Russell, is excellent in filing appeals. And besides that, we've...
What do you think the difference is with, because I have a lot of veterans, they are getting a little bit anxious because they've been waiting for a long time to get their benefits. So what do you think is the probability of them going to a lawyer as compared to them coming down to the DAV or even one of the American Legions or the VFWs?
Yeah, or National Veteran Service Agency also has counselors. There's no need to pay a lawyer. Our people do this for free. And they're just as good, and in many cases much better than lawyers. Because lawyers, are out to make a buck.
Right. And I think the lawyers, if you go through the lawyer, they have to take 30% of whatever they make.
It depends on the law firm and stuff, what percentage they work on, but they take a percentage of what they get for them when you can get this done for free.
Yeah.
And it's just as good and, in many cases better.
How long have you found that it takes the VA to make a decision?
Sometimes, sometimes they do it fairly fast, and sometimes it takes a long time.
Yeah.
And then if you get turned down, you have a year to appeal that, and we also handle appeals.
And Ed, sometimes it could be very stressful, right, Dick, when they're going through this process. That's why you have the American Legions, the AMVETS, the VFWs to give you support. When you have support around you, you'll be more apt to be able to do it. The more people that you have in your back, it's better off for you, so you won't give up. Don't give up on something that you're supposed to have because you got hurt while you served our country.
Yeah.
Am I right, Dick?
That's absolutely right. You paid the price for this, so you might as well get the benefit from it.
And it won't, and Ed, a lot of the veterans think that it's going to interfere with their work. Because I know some veterans come to me and they're police officers, or they may be like law enforcement, or they have some kind of high profile job and they think that they're not entitled to it because, and this is what they're telling me. But if you're going through stuff and you're going home, and I want to say this, Ed, if you're at home and you have a little bit rage at your wife or your kids, and you find yourself getting in a position where you're having a divorce or something, those could be some triggering points that's coming up to you. So you need to get yourself checked out. And you could save your family if you do it quickly. That's why these organizations are here.
Yeah. All right. A lot of people transitioning from the military to civilian life don't even realize they have PTSD until it's something like a divorce happens, or they have problems. So it's
and that pain transitions over to the family. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
I'd like to say something. I don't like to usually say anything. I like my guests to do the talking. But you said it takes a while for the VA to make a decision. I'd like everyone to know that if you wait a year, you've waited too long.
Absolutely.
And the best thing to do is to call your congressman. I mean, I work for Congressman Swazi, and I get calls every day from somebody who put a claim in 6 months or a year and they haven't heard, or they keep getting letters telling him that they're working on the case, him or her. Believe me, a congressman can write a letter to the VA. I send many emails out to the VA, and I say, here's Joe Blow, he's waited 8 months, there's been no answer, and immediately there's somebody at the VA that will find out what's wrong with it. And usually the same day or the next day, I get an answer. And sometimes the answer is, Ed, we found it, I'm sorry, it was misled, we'll get working on it right away, and they usually find an answer very quickly.
Yeah.
So any congressman can do that for you. So call your congressman.
Right. But also, if you have to go for any type of treatments or anything like that, you have to make sure you keep your treatments, keep your paperwork, and keep copies of whatever you're doing.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, like Dick said, he's the DAV. Where you located again?
We meet the fourth Tuesday of every month at the VFW at 65 East Merrick Road in Valley Stream.
Okay. And that phone number again?
The phone number is 887-7100.
Okay, so you have the phone number and you have resources, and then you have these people that's right in your community. I know I have the VFW in Brentwood. Every area there's a nonprofit organization for veterans in some capacity. But the most important place you can go also is the Northport VA or any VA. If you're in crisis, go to the VA. Don't call. Have someone take you to the VA.
Right.
Dick, is there anything that your chapter does specifically for veterans?
Well, my chapter happens to be fortunate in the fact that we have been able to raise some money to help some of the local organizations around, from the Stony Brook Veterans Home, Northport,
What have you done for Stony Brook? Can you
Stony Brook, we have sponsored 2 of their parties. We have given them a bunch of headphones for the residents there.
The
and
headphone, and that's so they can put it on and they can watch stuff?
watch or not disturb their roommate maybe,
Right.
or that kind of stuff. So we purchased a bunch of those headphones earlier this year.
They're expensive, aren't they?
I think they ran a little over $50 a piece,
Oh,
and we
okay.
bought, I don't know, 40 of them or so.
Really?
50 of them. Yeah, so.
Very good.
And Northport, we've supplied them with clock radios, games, puzzles for their psych unit, and right now we just gave them gift cards for the families of deceased veterans, for their children, for the Secret Santa.
Oh,
they call
very
it.
nice.
Yeah, and we're in the process of getting some sweatsuits, underwear, and slippers for them. And we supplied the Women's Health Clinic there with Pampers and baby lotions and oils and that kind of stuff. And the Nassau Veteran Service Agency, we supplied with gift cards for their food pantry, and we
Right.
supply the toiletry items for the 2 stand-downs they do every year.
Right.
And St. Albans Veterans Home, we've paid for haircuts for some of the residents there, and also the State Veterans Home there. We've done that. We've supplied them with sweatpants out there, and as a matter of fact, this Saturday we're paying for a bunch of the residents to come into the VFW post for their Christmas party,
Yeah.
and
Sounds
some
like
of the shut-ins was sending meals too, and so.
Meals on Wheels, you deliver that?
Well, we sent the money to them, so they're purchasing the meals
Very
for them.
good.
Because we don't know all the dietary concerns and stuff.
How much money did you spend on all these gifts that you've given to Stony
think-
Brook and Northport?
Well, Stony Brook, Northport, the Nassau Veteran Service, St. Albans VA, and St. Albans State Veterans Home, all told, and also the Nassau County Court.
The Veterans Court?
The Veterans Court, we supplied them with some transportation passes.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us a
So
little bit
all told-
about. Tell them a little bit about the Veterans Court in Nassau County, because we have one in Suffolk County as
if
well.
a veteran either gets a speeding ticket or a moving violation of any kind, or gets in any kind of trouble, they can ask to go to the Nassau Veterans Court. There's a special court specifically for veterans. If they run with any kind of traffic thing, if they get a hold of Ralph Esposito at the Nassau Veterans Service Agency, he'll help them file claims for that. And they have a special court just strictly for veterans. So some of the people there are mandated to go to like rehabs and stuff. That's what we supplied the transportation passes for.
Very good.
So all told, we've probably given away a little over $50,000 this year.
You know, you said that while we were talking before the show. $50,000
Yeah.
you donated to all these charities?
Yes.
How do you make that much money? In order to give that much money away, you must have it.
We did a lot of fundraisers around and, outside of different supermarkets. And we were out at the air show in Memorial Day weekend, and we did the Massapequa Park Street Fair, and we give away. We don't have poppies.
Yeah.
That's the American Legion and VFW. We have another flower called the Forget-Me-Not we give out, and that's we just ask for donations.
Yeah.
And,
I have to say, I haven't seen a DAV trying to raise money anywhere, but I imagine if I did see that, I'd be very impressed. I mean, the DAV is Disabled American Veterans. You know, if you give money to this outfit, they're going to spend it on disabled veterans. I mean, that's very good.
Yeah.
But you know what, Ed and Dick? We take it for granted, but Nassau County and Suffolk County are, the people in these communities are extremely patriotic and giving. Mm-hmm. Even in the schools, the kids are constantly making Valentine's Day cards and Veterans Day. And we want to say thank you to them because that's what it's all about, and that's how the funds come. They could come and they can donate any amount, but they know that their father, their uncle, their mother, father, or someone served in the military. They know that we served in the military and we served to protect this country. How could you not give to these organizations so we can help the future veterans coming through, the soldiers that are getting ready to go over now, right? And we're preparing now for their depart so we could take care of their families. And that's what the DAV, I believe, are doing now.
Right.
Right?
We're trying to help as many veterans as we can. The Stony Brook home presently has 320 residents. They have 350 beds, but they lost some of the staff during the COVID.
Right.
So until they get all the staff back, they won't be able to house 350. The one at St. Albans probably has 250 beds, and I think they have about 170 or 180 residents.
Right.
So,
How old are the veterans that are in the hospitals?
well, when we did the fall festival, they had probably 80 of them came out to the, we had a little band there and some refreshments and stuff. And out of the 80, I'd say 75 of them were in wheelchairs.
Right.
So I'm guessing they were all 70, 80, 90, some of them. And
So there's still a number of Vietnam vets in the...
mostly Vietnam, but there's some Korean and World War II veterans still there.
And they've been increasing the population of women veterans over there now. And they're coming in younger, the women veterans, because I know there's one that's in her 60s that's there.
Yeah.
Hi to her. But sometimes if you get disabled, your family cannot take care of you. Mm-hmm. And that's why you have to go into
I want to say,
like
at if you're 70% disabled or higher at the state home at Stony Brook, there's no charge. They don't touch your Social Security or your pension or anything.
And one thing we have to do, we have to give thanks to the director over there at Stony Brook, because he's been there for a minute now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he created a...
Fred Skanga.
Yeah.
Right.
What is his name? Fred?
Skanga.
Yes. Yeah. Fred has done a lot of stuff. And he also have now a daycare where you could bring your
Right.
person to the Stony Brook just for some outings, some recreation, and then they take them back home. Those are the things that we need to do to get the veterans out of their house so they won't stay in the house, and
Yeah,
we can
but
deter suicide with that.
The residents there really appreciate anybody coming to visit or that kind of stuff, because that's their life. They're there, 365 days a year, and they really were appreciative of having a little band or a couple of cupcakes or whatever that we were able to supply.
Can I ask you how many disabled veterans show up for a meeting?
We usually run somewhere around 30 to 35.
Very good.
Yeah.
And are they disabled as well? In order to,
Various states of disabled, most of them, but some of them, or most of them are able to get around. They can still drive or whatever. So, but we're trying to get some younger people into, because I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to do this, and we're having the same problem as all the other organizations on Long Island with getting the younger veterans to join them. So.
yeah, we have to put out there, we need you young veterans and you elderly veterans that's still walking around and able to do it, to come in and join the Veterans of Foreign War, the American Legions, the DAV. You could join all of them if you meet the criteria, but you also can volunteer for some of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So we want, not just because you're a veteran, you could come in and you can volunteer.
Right.
Some of the posts would accept you to do some volunteer, painting or doing flowers or something in front of the posts or something
Right,
like
I
that.
know they got some of the Boy Scout troops to paint the Veterans Plaza and the benches in Eisenhower Park.
Right.
So, yeah, we're always looking for help with a lot of projects.
I don't remember if the DAV had it as a slogan or a motto, but they said that their ultimate goal is to go out of business. So unfortunately, we're getting close to that.
Yes, but if we get more veterans to come out and participate
Right.
and utilize the facility and learn to meet with us and learn that we have accomplished a lot. You were a chemist and you were an engineer. And Ed, what did you do in your?
I did a lot.
You did a lot, and I did a lot, and we still here. And we participate and we trying to get around to help out as we can. But we do need you all to come and join. Come
Yes.
join us.
Yes.
Dick,
we
is
do
there
need-
anything that you haven't talked about that you'd like to talk about? On your notes, you have a ton of notes there.
I just, I'm just proud of the guys. Our fundraising chairman, Vito Verga, did a fantastic job as usual, and because of the efforts of these people, we were able to help all these other veterans. So it's really a combined effort that our members do. So. And most of the stuff we like to help the veterans, not so much as, the organizations, but the veterans themselves. We like to see the money. As a matter of fact, we just agreed to send some of the fellows from the St. Albans Veterans Home to a Knick game. So.
To a net game?
To a Knick game, yes.
What are the Knicks?
The Knicks basketball team.
Basketball team? I don't know.
Yeah, I just went to a net game. Let's go Knicks. Because the Nets, I'm telling you, need some help now.
Nets do need some help. Yeah.
How many veterans went to the Nets game?
Well, we just paid for it, so I don't know how many they're going to wind up sending.
How much did you pay for it? How much did it cost
Well,
you?
I think we sent them $1,300.
$1,300.
Yeah.
Very nice. A bus trip?
Yes, a bus trip of course, they're going from St. Albans, they're going to Madison Square Garden.
Right.
So they have transportation and.
They go in wheelchairs?
However, they have, besides the veterans, they have to have caregivers go with them
Right.
and stuff, so they make all those arrangements. I don't actually
Okay.
know if all of them are in wheelchairs or...
Yeah.
So Dick, before we go, can you give the phone number where a person who they think that they meet the requirements and they want to find out about the DAV or they want to find out if they can file a claim? What is that phone number again?
Is area code 516-887-7100.
887-7100.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Very
And
good.
our state secretary would be happy to help.
And we want to thank you for coming on our show and
Okay.
your chapter 145 for all y'all doing for the veterans. We're proud of what you're doing. We're proud of the veterans out there. And thank you for your service. Veterans Day was just a couple of weeks ago.
I know.
Yeah?
I know.
So-
How about getting our crew up here? We only have a minute left. On camera 1, we had General Robert Guarneri. He's a real general. Camera 2, we had Jim Quirk. Did we have? Yes, we had Jim.
Come on.
And camera 3, we had a new guy, Sonny Maxon. Sonny Mac, thank you, Sonny. Come on up here, Sonny. Okay, Mike Felix is our director in training. He's in the back today, no longer in the front. He's in the back now. Our graphics director, Loretta DeBrino. Where are you, Loretta?
She's coming.
Coming around,
Okay.
hiding behind the flag here.
Assistant graphics director, Bev Allman. She's hiding in the back. Hey, our producer, he's right on front somewhere. Yes, he always is. Eric Spinner. And our director is Mike Ferraro. Mike, hello. Oh, we don't see Mike. Mike's in the back. Okay, thanks a lot.
Bye, everybody.
And you can play the music now.